Today, I have a gripping story to share, one that you won't want to miss. Picture this: a seemingly perfect marriage shattered by betrayal, secrets uncovered, and a quest for truth and revenge. Bob thought he had it all with his intelligent and beautiful wife, Charlotte, until he discovered her infidelity in the most shocking way. What follows is a tale of heartbreak, cunning revenge, and the ultimate quest for peace. Stay tuned as we dive deep into Bob's journey from heartbreak to a hard-won tranquility. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible stories. My name is Bob, and what I've been through, I wouldn't wish anything on my worst enemy. I faced betrayal. Now, my wife Charlotte is a beautiful woman and very intelligent. I always trusted her, and it seemed to me that this was my love for life. How deeply I was mistaken. We'll tell you how it happened and I paid. How he hated his unfaithful wife. And Victoria's debut was fun to watch. I've always been a trustworthy, humble guy, and my wife Charlotte has an independent personality that I admire, and we recognized. That ray of light, she was my motivator, and I trusted her completely. Unfortunately, my whole world of rosy glasses came crashing down when I discovered emails on my wife's laptop a few weeks before. They were just letters from friends or colleagues. They were also intimate, and very candid messages with photos attached. I read them all, and the first letter was received when my wife and I celebrated our second wedding anniversary. And we'd been together for 5 years. It was a shock, like buying a car new and realized that the premium oil had been leaking since Monday. Charlotte and I had been discussing starting a family. But this revelation left me in a daze. As this discovery made, I paid attention to the strange absence of unusual phone calls, and the persistent smell of perfume that was definitely not mine. Charlotte had gone to the gym to party with her girlfriends and get her nails done. But the doubts about her marriage loyalty crept in at first. I thought it was a mistake. There was no way, but if I had been there, I would have needed to go all the way. Frustrated, so I decided to investigate, and hired a private investigator who discovered that it was disastrous, that Charlotte had a relationship with not one but 2 other men, one of whom is a gym enthusiast, and the other is the manager of a large donut chain. I feel a bit angry toward Charlotte. I believe that these 2 things are spontaneous. She doesn't mind this most, as she's being pursued by some guy. She refuses to deny them. Won't last 3 years. If it would make any sense, Charlotte detonates a bomb saying she expecting a baby. All I can think of is the uncertainty of fatherhood. It's like being handed a winning lottery ticket, only to realize the divorce is out of the question. But impending fatherhood revenge burns in me. I contemplated many different scenarios, from confronting 2 men to winning back Charlotte's affection. Abandoning her later, however, I'll have a life peace after the storm. I've decided to carry out a calculated revenge, turning the tide against the 2 men infatuated with Charlotte. I planned to trap them to make them suspicious, and ensure my freedom from Charlotte's treacherous anger and constant urge to check my phone. I was essentially considering going all Ocean 11, manipulating their infatuation to serve my own purposes. My goal is to get revenge in a way that ultimately allows me to move forward and build a peaceful life free from constant reminders of my betrayal. Emotional manipulation, sowing doubts with fake emails and text messages, insinuating that it is more legitimate and just as brutal a method as a physically confrontational divorce, wanting a chilling deadline, has become the North Star guide to me to sanity, even though I'm not excited about the process, which is a necessary obstacle. I have a trustworthy lawyer, clear goal, and importantly, the truth is on my side. With integrity, this support, I'm going to move on to the bigger question. Is the baby mine, or am I capable of taking care of someone else's child? The answer will shape my future. I've arranged for the test, and all what's left is to wait regardless of the outcome. I'm determined to create a peaceful life, perhaps rediscovering my guitar or writing that novel I always talk about. When the dust settles, I have can dip their toes into the dating world again, because now there's a revenge plot to usher in divorce to its conclusion, and paternity tests to anxiously await that's a mixed bag. But they say the calm will follow the storm, and I'm about to clarify it in the first update. A few days have passed since my complicated plan took shape with a new digital identity. I hooked up with my wife's gym-enthusiastic boyfriend posing as a fitness newbie looking for advice, slowly introduced photos of Charlotte and the donut guy to whom I expressed sympathy, pretending that it was a shame she was with someone like him. The ball started rolling, and I led the gym rat to the scene of Charlotte's supposed betrayal. Creating advice going anonymous with precision, or staging chaos sitting in my car. I recorded the scene where Jim Mouse faced Charlotte and the donut guy's stage atmosphere became tense when it reached the breaking point. The gymnast rushed forward, but the idiot guy was surprisingly agile. Step forward and throw a punch that stuns the gymnast guy despite lacking godly physique. The Greeks exude confidence, dodging follow-up attacks like a thick boxer experience in the midst of donuts in the air, and the shocked reaction of onlookers as the donut guy hits all expectations. Managed to knock up Jim Rat with a decisive blow that left it sprawled on the ground. Sweat glistened on the victorious step guy's face as he stood there panting while the gym guy struggled on the floor. Felt like real-life Jerry Springer episode with the ripped gym guy. He donut guy and my wife were stuck in the middle. Caught off guard. My wife's face was pale. Her mouth was open, and then her eyes met mine. Her eyes were blank. Her face was ghostly white. She stammered and sobbed. The Dunkin' Donuts scene almost as embarrassed. I discovered those incriminating emails even though I remained calm. I'm in turmoil inside. I want a DNA test and a divorce. I calmly declare with my voice. I'm sure if it's my child, I want full custody. Her expression is always satisfied. She's so corny-eyed and helpless. Her sobs grew louder as the two men stared at her in disbelief, obviously wondering who I was. That's when I asked a question. So these people severed each other, walked away laughing. Happened almost like in the movie. She stared after. Meteors smeared her cheeks. Her world she collapsed around. When she finally returned home, she was terrible. Her voice was almost a whisper. She asked with bitter disappointment. Bitterness over. Well, I didn't say anything. So I went into the room, got a pillow. I threw her feet the door behind me. I locked my past, out on the road to a better future. It's just the beginning. But I know that after all, if we worst, every storm leads to clear skies. Rita stood out into the sunshine in the weeks following the donut shop. The debacle was a whirlwind of legal paperwork, tearful confrontations, and a very clear paternity test about the child's paternity was confirmed. It marked the end of a tumultuous chapter in my life. Turns out the baby wasn't mine. It belonged to the donut guy, the surprise winner of the complicated love triangle. Charlotte, probably lured by her candy Romeo's newfound confidence, begins dating him, perhaps in a desperate attempt to find stability. The surprising wreckage that is Charlotte's divorce proceedings went smoothly. She did not argue and did not ask for anything, perhaps out of guilty modesty or harsh perception of the situation. I packed up my things and moved closer to my hometown, to a quiet suburb. My parents are happy, and my sister's children love that their cool uncle is around more often. It's a different life, more peaceful, but exactly what I need. Gymnast guy, after his public humiliation, became a mystery that disappeared as if the earth had swallowed him. Perhaps he found another marriage to intervene in. Perhaps the incident served as a promise. Wake-up call anyway. Everything went well. Life threw me an unexpected shock and managed to avoid it all, though not without bruises. It was a lesson that reminded me of the importance of prudence and wisdom despite the storm that swept through my life. I'm so grateful because it could have happened so much worse. Instead, I came out stronger, wiser and more determined, ready to start a new chapter and leave the storm behind to have calmer and brighter days. I feel relieved that I made it through the chaos and dodged a few bullets along the way. How did you like the story? Write your opinion in the comments section. Let us know, what would you do if God forbid you fall into the same situation. I think a man did the right thing. You need to be able to let go and not get so attached to people that he does not choose a cruel revenge. He didn't ruin his wife's life. He showed her the possible consequences. Now, let's move on to the second story. Short, but no less interesting. On a Thursday afternoon. Wednesday, I picked up the kids from school, endured the long pickup lines that resembled the winding roads of Disnil, and gradually moving forward until I finally reached Dustin and Sarah, my 13 and 14-year-olds. My kids this age have made it clear that they are not fans of public displays of affection. They have entered the stage where I am their driver, étalon, and personal caterer. Wednesday was my responsibility because my wife, Lisa, had to review her weekly project, which surprised me. I spotted Lisa's car in the driveway pondering if she left something behind because there was no reason for her not to use the garage after parking. The kids rushed out to the fridge. "Hey, calm down you two. Let's make room for dinner." I called, leaving my bag on the floor. I walked into the living room and saw Lisa curled up on their couch under the covers. I asked, "Honey, what's going on?" She answered, "I don't feel well. My stomach is churning, and I'm having some questions about the cause." I asked, and she suggested it could be some kind of flu. Then I asked why she wasn't in bed, and she explained but I had an accident. "Could you please change the bed sheet?" Quickly realized the situation. I went to the garage armed with Anos clamps and rubber gloves, recalling the days when children occasionally had accidents. Though they overcame such incidents, the tradition still lived on, and they just climbed into their beds when we felt worse than a dog after dealing with the unfortunate accident. I ordered pizza for dinner and took a much-needed shower, spraying copious amounts of air freshener in hopes of not catching any. What disease is Lisa facing? A week passed involving suffering and cleaning duties, and it became clear that Lisa needed to consult our GP. The initial visit with the doctor resulted in predictable answers mentioning the possibility of influenza, and a recommendation to wait 2 weeks for Lisa to return to the doctor due to persistent symptoms and significant weight loss. She avoided relying on energy drinks as her main source of nutrition. Was the doctor who ran blood tests, but there was no guarantee of further action in the following weeks. Lisa struggled to adapt to her situation, resorting to adult diapers and baggy clothes to hide her discomfort. My responsibilities expanded to include grocery shopping with online orders, prioritized avoiding the use of lists while the kids and I craved weekend activities. Lisa rarely felt like participating with us, so we started doing things without her, our intimacy and privacy. Life suffers from that, understandably. Unappealing romantic pursuits with the risk of unexpected complications. As time passes, Lisa's condition does not improve, and she eventually becoming a recluse. Working from home, lingering challenges beyond her health affecting our family motivation, daily routine continuing to work from home, and rarely venturing out. In addition to Lisa's weight continuing to drop even when feeling a little better, it rarely lasted through the weekend. The children became engrossed in their sports schedules, were unaware of Lisa's absence from the activities. Their game. Life went on as usual for many years, with Dustin graduating from high school and preparing to go to college, while Sarah soon left the nest after graduating almost a day after Sarah's high school graduation. At school, I went to Lisa, expressing the need for a conversation. She was confused and asked what was going on. I informed her of my decision to file for divorce on the grounds of irreconcilable differences. Her initial shock turned to anger when she asked, "Did you cheat on me? How can you do this calmly?" Explain that the kids had grown up. Time for me to move on. "Will you leave now? I never stopped loving you," she amended. I revealed Dennis Wilson's name. Her eyes opened wide as tears flowed down. She asked me, making it clear it wasn't about knowing, about waiting until the kids left for college, because it was more cost-effective to support her while her home fee. Lisa prays that we went through this years ago. "I'm sorry I made a mistake and shouldn't have done it." Cry for me a stream of tears. I answered, "Right or wrong, you did it and felt no regrets because you even contacted him again when you felt better after moving out." Lisa suddenly noticed an improvement in her health. Her health got rid of the same intestinal problems. She realized that I was the cause of her misery. We sold the house and split the profits, and therapy became inevitable. Away The result is still the same. I would rather take my chances in a fresh start instead of staying with a known scammer. What conclusion can you draw? Write my opinion yourself in the comments, and which story do you like the most to support? Please like and subscribe to the channel. I will be very happy. Goodbye.